In the movie The Secret, I quoted Dr. Wernher von Braun, who's considered by many as the father of the space program. He said, the natural laws of this universe are so precise that we don't have any difficulty building a spaceship, sending people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. He also said these laws must have been set by someone. And you know, it's strange. It's not that long ago when science and religion were really considered antagonistic. That's not so today. It's looked at it now, one studying the cause and the other studying the effect. And von Braun said, after studying the spectacular mysteries of the cosmos for many years, he had arrived at the firm conviction that there is a God. I see the laws as God's modus operandi. It's how everything happens. The Secret was based on the concept of the law of attraction. And because the movie went viral, it was all over the world, everyone everywhere was talking about the law of attraction. People writing books on it that don't really understand it, people speaking on it that many of them advertise their ignorance when they talk about it. I'm of the conclusion that attraction is not really understood in any depth by most people. Now, I've studied this every day for 50-some years. And I can assure you, attraction is a law, but it's a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. The law of vibration is one of the basic laws of the universe. It decrees that everything moves, nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. Do you know that everything is an expression of the same thing? The leaves, the tree, the cement, the body, the clothes. It's all energy at a different rate of vibration. You see, your body is a molecular structure in a very high speed of vibration. Your brain is an electronic switching station. Your brain does not think, but you think with your brain. There's a difference. As you activate brain cells, you set up a vibration in your body. For me to just move my hand like that, I had to activate brain cells or my hand wouldn't have done it. If a person's had a stroke, where the blood just stops going to a section of the brain, those brain cells become dead. The movement in the body, in that part of the body that is controlled by those cells, stops. Vibration is something that must be understood if you're going to take control of your health. It must be understood if you're going to take control of your relationships. It must be understood if you want to become wealthy. And if you want to really master the art of selling, vibration is an essential. You've got to understand it. And yet almost all the sales training programs that are done worldwide have nothing about the law of vibration in them. As Robert Louis Stevenson said, everybody's selling. You're selling an idea, a product, or a service. And it's true. The teacher's selling the student. The parent's selling the child's selling the parent. Well, what do we mean selling? Well, the professional salesperson understands that selling is doing something for someone, not to someone. And the professional will sit down and they will get to know the prospect. They will find as much about the prospect as they can. They'll have permission to ask the prospect questions. They'll gather a lot of information, and they find out where the prospect wants to go, what they want to accomplish. They mentally get on the prospect's frequency and help the prospect go to where they want to go. My old mentor called that empathy ego balance, where you're able to get into the other person's mind and see the world from where they see it. Get on their frequency, get in their vibration. The vibration you're in is going to dictate what you attract into your life. And if you're troubled, you're worried, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. That's why the great sufferer in the Bible said, "Lo, the thing I fear has come to visit upon me." Well, fear is a very negative vibration. It's a very negative emotion. It's caused by doubt and worry, and doubt and worry is really caused by ignorance. That's why Solomon said, in all you're getting, get understanding. What do we want to understand? I think we want to understand the laws that govern our being, the laws that govern our universe. And then we want to understand how to get in harmony with the law. Everything you want will come to you when you get in harmony with it. Vibration is essential to understand, but only one person, maybe 10, has any grasp of it at all. If you ask a person how they feel, what they're really telling you is their conscious awareness of the vibration they're in. If a person says, I just don't feel very well, that person's probably in a very negative vibration. The person said, I feel wonderful. They're in a very good vibration. If you're in a really good vibration and you're with a person that's very negative, you will not feel comfortable in their presence. Feeling, conscious awareness, vibration. You don't feel comfortable in their energy and you want to get away from them. Now, if you were negative and they're negative, you're going to come together. Misery loves company. See, these old sayings are all based on laws. It's hard to believe that two miserable people would be comfortable together, but if you understand they're both on the same frequency, they're both listening to the same music. You'll often hear a person that went for a walk in the woods. They said it was so pleasant. Why? The vibration of nature is perfect. That's why a walk in the woods leaves you feeling so good. What do you understand about the law of vibration? That's a good question to ask yourself. I'm going to give you a small exercise. The next time you're around a person that's complaining about anything, or that obviously it doesn't feel very well, start changing the subject. Start talking to them, about something good about them. Compliment them, but make it a sincere, merited compliment, not false praise. No flattery. Pick out something good that they do and slowly turn the subject around to that. Let them know how much you admire how well they do it. And you know something? Like that, their energy will change. You have caused them to change their vibration. Now, the beautiful truth about this, when you do it, you'll learn how to do it to yourself when you're not feeling very good. That's the beautiful truth. We are in control of how we feel. I was reading something by Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, a Viennese psychiatrist, spent the war years in a concentration camp. He said, in every situation, there is a space between the situation and how you respond to it. And in that space, you can decide how you're going to respond. Now, that space may only be a millisecond, but in that space, you can decide, are you going to react or are you going to respond? Think of it. In every situation, between the situation and your response, there is a space. And in that space, you can decide how you're going to respond. Vibration is something that I love studying. When you're in a restaurant or in a store or any place where the energy is really good, you feel very comfortable. It's the vibration in the place. You've gone into a restaurant and sat down, and before you ordered anything, all of a sudden you don't want to eat there. Why? It's the energy. It's the vibration of that place. You should get up and leave. Go where you feel comfortable. Do what makes you feel good. That's why people that are doing what they love never have to work again. They spend their whole life in a wonderful vibration. The person who truly understands how to pray puts himself in a wonderful vibration. I want to suggest you study it and understand this. You will attract to you whatever you're in harmonious vibration with. You are in control of the vibration you're in.
Isn't that a great video? Isn't Bob the goat, right? I didn't know what goat was before. He said, you're the goat, you're the goat. What's the goat? Greatest of all time, right? Amazing. So good. So, so good. Hi, Dolly.
That was really, really great. I loved when you talked about the space between the time that you respond and you react.
Yeah.
Then to recovery, if you
Oh,
will.
froze. You
Uh,
froze.
oh,
You froze. Okay, try it again.
okay. I don't know where I froze, but it's the recovery time also too when we believe, we have reacted to certain things. I don't know if any of you guys are parents,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. And it's something very relatable for me, And so also I hear the words of Michael Beckwith, Bob Proctor is who channeled it before,
Mhm.
uh, which is, it is what it is, accept it, harvest the good, forgive all the rest. It is as simple as those steps
Mhm.
because we're all doing the best we can with where we are. So the vibration is the primary law to attraction. We hear a lot, why isn't it working? I'm trying everything. Oh, what
Mhm.
vibration are you in? Right. And so these powerful words also too that I love to use, you are the star, right? And that is that don't break character of who you are. You're going to write in your self-image. We're locking those in, we're taking those steps. You're believing based on your intuition by leaning in heart to heart. You're trusting the stories in which we share because we're telling you the truth because we're actually traveling there as we're sharing them with you and we're like going through it live all the way, right? Because again, we rise together, collective vision, expansion, going all direction. So I wanted to go further, faster, but also once again being in the present, enjoying the things that are happening around me and not, feeling this sense of hurry, and just and feeling grounded. Right? And the way in which that we do that is by doing the things in which we're sharing with you today and the speed that you'll be able to do that. And how we do it is by practicing
Yeah.
pen to paper, uh, uh, and then allowing the universe to allow it to unfold. Like it ends up being better than you could have imagined. So, uh, yeah, I know we have some exercises too for everyone.
And we do. But before we do that, Dana has a question.
Okay, I have a question about vibration. That was an awesome video. How do you, I guess, know if you're in a, I guess, how do you know if you're on a, not exactly on a good or a bad vibration? It's how you feel, obviously, that will dictate it. But I guess to know if you're on the correct vibration is a better word, or where you should be, because would that be a way I can ask? And also, when you say put pen to paper, like when you write out your story, when you journal, is that a good way as far as being on a high vibration to do it?
Mm. Well, Dolly, I'll let you deal with the journal, the writing part, and I'll talk about the vibration part. Okay.
Okay.
Vibration is nothing more than feeling. That's it.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
so if you're feeling positive, you're in a
Yes.
good vibe. If you're feeling negative, you're in a bad vibe or a negative vibe. Okay.
Hmm.
The whole point being is that your feelings, whatever that is, it's a frequency and it's also an effect. All of you write this down, okay? My feelings are effects. Okay. They reveal how you're thinking meanings what you believe and the patterns that are embedded within you subconsciously. Now, I also want you to write in your notes this. Ready? My feelings never lie. They don't lie. And sometimes I wish it was a lie. But but when you're in that feeling where you're in that place, you got to remember that it's happening because of a thought process. And the
Okay.
best way I can explain this to you is the feeling of fear. Now, all of us have felt
Mm-hmm.
fear before, and that's something that's dominant in the overwhelming majority of people's lives. With that being said, I would just dive into how, when you're feeling fear, it feels like it came out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
it
didn't.
does.
It didn't. Something's causing it. All you write this note. Something causes the fear. It just doesn't show up out of nowhere. See, when you are feeling the fear, it's the effect. What's causing the fear is a cycle of worry and doubt. That's what's leading to that fear. And all that worry and
Okay.
doubt comes from ignorance. It's nothing more than ignorance. Okay,
I'm
so
glad you said that because that's actually something that I've been working on overcoming is fear because I'm like, this is kind of silly. Some of the stuff I feared before in the past. I don't know if anybody else has gone there, but I'm like, this was kind of silly. It really was no reason to.
so what if you didn't have to overcome fear? What if all
Huh,
all all you had to do was release it?
I will gladly do that.
Okay. See, but this requires you to say, you know what? Okay, whatever. And by the way, when you're acting on something that you would really, really love,
Hmm.
uh, what will happen inside of you because of what's embedded within our, I guess you'd say, within the program that's beneath the conditioning is a way of thinking that leads to feeling. Okay, so um, this big thing is really big and it's really important to understand. The whole point being is that when you are feeling something,
Okay.
best part is if you want to change it, you don't need to know what's causing it. In other words, specifically what it is that's
Hmm.
causing it. You just need to understand that you are emotionally involved with an idea that's leading to that effect. And so with that, you can make a decision, okay, you know what? I don't want to feel this way. I want to feel that way, whatever that way is. And if you'll just lock into that and be loyal to it and then use what Tony Robbins refers to as your physiology. And this is an important thing for every single one of you. Your physiology and your psychology they're interwoven beautifully together. Your psychology understands what this means versus this, right? uh, knows what that is. So if you can use your physiology to help to lead you to a completely different emotional state if you'll just make the decision to override what's happening there at that moment. And I've seen it happen to myself many times. I've seen it happen with other people. I've seen it, people who, for instance, they're getting ready to go on a sales call and they might be afraid. You know what they do? They go into the bathroom, they walk around and act as if they're like really super strong. They stand like with a gorilla chest. Maybe they even go like this, you know. The whole point being is they allow themselves to step into how they would love things to be, then which then shifts how they feel. Okay.
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 Okay. Actually, I think I did that recently. Didn't even know it, truthfully. Because you guys kind of know some things that are going on. And actually, I got some news this week and I was like, and I wasn't nervous. I wasn't upset. I was just like, it's already done. It's already working out for me. And actually, it ended up being in my favor, but it wasn't supposed to be. But yeah, it ended up being my favorite. It's a pretty cool story. It's pretty cool.
See, again, you get to lead yourself. And by the way, again, reminder everyone, how do you lead yourself? You use your imagination.
Imagination.
That's right. That's your
Yes.
redeemer. Your redeemer lives. There's a song, I know that my
My
redeemer lives.
Redeemer
Your
lives.
redeemer is Christ in you, which is your imagination.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Did that help you? Did they give you your answer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It did.
That's good.
It did. Okay.
Okay, beautiful.
Thanks, Troy. I appreciate it.
All right. So, Dolly, you know what? I'm going to pull you back on because now we're going to go to the pen and paper part. So you're coming back. Okay, Dolly, your turn.
Uh, well, I think this is a great tie-in to Dana's question, which was, I remember how silly I thought it was when I first heard Joy is the Key. You guys listen to Esther Hicks? She has this like song that used to annoy me. That's like her intro to the thing. And it was like just as simple. And she'd say your inner guidance system when you're feeling really great. And it's the question is how quickly can you get back into alignment, you know? And so when you ask, like, how do you know it's how are you feeling? Checking in. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, using the tools, you know, that you hear over and over and over again. And, you know, so as we take pen to paper, yeah, you know, in writing out our self-image, there really isn't a right or wrong. I don't know if you have
Okay.
instructions. And this is to everyone. This isn't just to Dana.
Mhm.
You know, this exercise is for all of us. Is to really connect. This is what I did. When you go, actually, I don't want to give that away. So let me pull it back. That's something that'll come as a surprise. Um, it's really, I would even say like take it like music too. Like when we're playing the music, when Troy, I want you
Mhm.
to imagine like your favorite movies, if you will, and how they made you feel, like romance your life, if you will. And feeling into the feeling of it there for me anyway, there was never a right or wrong because everyone wrote out their goals so differently than I did. So as I
Mhm.
said to you, I said it that I was very fantasy like in how I dreamt it because I couldn't see as big I as others could. I just couldn't even write it. There is no right or wrong. So I just want to say that right, you want to start out by saying, I am so happy and grateful now that I am, and begin your self-image there. And just really tune into the music. I don't know if I can expand further than
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, awesome. You know, again, another reminder of the many reminders of the many things that we have repeated again and again and again and again. And remember, we do this on purpose, is that these things that we're having you write down, listen to again, revisit, and do. And when we're talking about do, we're talking about the mental movement. Okay. You know, by the way, this is a really important thing too, by the way. When you are going pen to paper, what you're really doing is externalizing what's in your mind so that it's out there. And it actually helps you to think much differently. When you write, it causes you to think, which is why it's so important for you to write. All of you write this in your notes. I think from my ideas. And so when you externalize it, write it down. What is that? It's an idea that you are allowing to be in front of you so you can see. And by the way, this is so cool. Think about this. When it's on the paper, see, that's an effect. That's a result. Think about how cool that is and how amazing that is by you just demonstrating that literally when it's out there. It was in your mind first before it became the material fact. But see, most of us though, we don't do that. We just have something in our mind and then we go about our things and nothing, nothing changes. And we don't intentionally set into play something to think about, something to think about. And when you do that, though, when you do have that strength, that discipline to be very clear about what you want and what you would love to happen to the point of where now you can start thinking from it, then that's when everything will start changing for you. And so keep in mind, though, when again, as we're making these suggestions to you, we didn't like to do them either. Okay, but through doing them, boom, guess what happened? The change happened on the outside. And this is what you're seeing right now. I mean, really grab onto this. The way you're seeing me present myself to you, the way you're seeing Dolly present herself to you, we had to build this. We had to imagine it first. We're not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you the power of making the shift in the paradigm and making a shift in what you're feeling about yourself on the inside. And if we can do it, oh my gosh, heck to the yes, you can do it. Okay? You can totally do it. But see, this is where you have to make again the decision that you're going to apply and do this work. Okay? The wax on, wax up in the fence, which is really super cool.
Can I add to the power of this room? If I could go back to powerful moments it was always in rooms like these. And back then it was, when I would have to physically go there. So I just wanted to remind you guys, just again, this container that we've created, we've called it in. Right? Everything is energy and we're all connected. And so, yeah, pen to paper is just the power of it. These are things that I believed as I would write things in. I would, whatever you believe, right? You will prove and it will come. And you got to let go of the outcome of how it's going to look. So,
Yeah. If you don't let go, oh my gosh. See, that's where, you know, the change will not happen. So if you want the change to happen, then you have to consent to something different for yourself. You got to consent to a new model that makes that old model obsolete. And you can do it. You know why? I know you can do it because we've done it ourselves. And again, we're going to continue to say that over and over and over again because we want you to see that that power is in not only you but also in everyone else as well. And there's another important point that I want to help you to see too as well is that you will see this more, you'll understand it more as you dive into using it more. And to me, that's like the best thing ever. And by the way, I can demonstrate this with every single one of you simply by just asking you this one question. How many of you, as you've been diving into this material and you've been using it, find it super easy to see other people's paradigms? Right? You say, oh my gosh, ooh, and you see what's going on inside. See, now remember, that's happening because there's a deeper understanding of yourself that you've come in contact with, which enables you to see that in others. And then you'll also see, oh my gosh, the character they're playing, the character they're playing, the character they're playing, and then also the character that I'm playing. See, it's awesome. I remember the first time I saw the paradigm because I thought it was going to be like, what does it look like? What does it look like? Then I realized, oh my gosh, it's not something that you see, it's something that you see expressed. Think about that. It's something you see expressed in words, actions, and deeds. And that is amazing to see. And then you know what else also happens as well when you do make that shift in your self-image to the point of where you understand it a lot. What will happen is less and less the outside will affect you. Less and less. You'll no longer be a slave to circumstances, conditions, and results. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to come in and hit you. Okay, yes, it does. But what will happen is the recovery time will get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And that right there is really pretty freaking awesome. Amazing. So, Julie, go for it.
Just a very quick question. Why do you have to write it like pen to paper versus typing out your stuff? Is there a difference or in like, with all of our technology, does it have the same effect?
I found that when I type versus when I write, it's much different. Because you're dealing, okay, that's fine. With this being said, you do whatever leads you to get into that frequency or onto that frequency. I'm just sharing with you from my experience, and you got to remember, I work with the technology. I use it,
Right.
I dictate it and stuff like that. But it is much different. I don't know exactly why that's the case. I mean, there's something about, I know you're moving your fingers when you're typing like this, right? But there is something different when you're doing this.
Yeah, I do feel a difference when
Yeah.
I write it versus typing, but I just never knew like if there's what the reason is. I don't know if it's, like,
There's something deeply psychologically different about it.
okay.
There is. Uh, if you think of typing, when you're typing out letters, you're pushing buttons and you are definitely putting words on there. But when you're writing, it's more of an art and it's an expression of a lot of the imagination. But I'm not going to say that you have to do one or the other.
Okay.
I'm just following the instructions that I was given, and through my own personal experience, I found that writing it actually causes a much different thought process to happen.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah. All right. So
Oops.
we got, okay, wait. Okay, ready? Dolly, we have to have our wager here with the hands.
I think it's Zan.
Okay, okay, let's see.
Remember, you guys are always saying your pen is your wand.
Yeah.
So how magical that is when we're writing, right? And really, Tom raised his hand, but I jumped in first. Oh, here.
We are one. Thank you very much. So here's the thing that I came across years ago, and it said that if you not only engage your thoughts, because writing is thinking on paper, it gives you a visual representation of the thoughts that are in your mind. The fact that you're using a tactile feature as well as your brain, which is focused on it, and seeing it, then all those connected make an impact, make a more of an impact because they force, that word force, they allow you and discipline you to keep all of those features in concert together. And they slow it down. It takes longer to write for me than it does to type it on the keyboard because I have a divided focus when I'm typing because I'm thinking, well, let's see, I got to hit that key and got to hit that key. Well, I've lost a thought. But if I'm writing, then I don't lose the thought. That's my input. And it works for me so well. And I get frustrated sometimes because I really want to get this done, but I know that if I write it, and for me, I don't use script. My script sucks. And I don't want to go into learning to write the script again. So my education is printing. So I print everything. And it takes me longer, but I stay more focused on it. That's my input.
Wow, that's amazing.
I agree.
You know, I was typing into Chat GPT this while you were speaking, and I asked the question, why is writing with your hand more effective than typing when it comes to thinking? And this is what it came up with. Writing by hand is often considered more effective than typing for thinking and cognitive engagement because it activates different processes in the brain that involve a deeper level of interaction with the material. There's a more of a cognitive thing that's involved with it, and then it also helps to you to retain it as well. So I'm going to send all of this over to you. I'll copy this over. It's actually really good. What was here? Gosh, don't you love ChatGPT? Oh my goodness, I'm going to send this over to you. Did I share? Some of you you have heard me share this, where there was this beautiful. There, I just sent it all to you here. Hold on. Oh, there's too many words. I'm only allowed to have 1,000 words, so I'll do it a different way. About Steve Jobs when he was talking. This was right when he went back into Apple the second time, and he was talking about all of this incredible knowledge that's in books, and that's where he goes to get his wisdom. And he says, I see the day when we're going to be able to just have, it's all going to be in one big master computer database, and we'll be able to have conversations and get feedback from those authors, from the words that they put into those books. And isn't that awesome how it's happening right now? Think about that. That's incredible, right? Now I bring this in because that was something that was brought forth through imagination, right? Think about that. That is amazing. That's incredible. And that's something that we can do for ourselves too. And remember, that was a long time ago that was envisioned. And now it's a material fact. And you know what's really awesome? It's going to get better. It's going to get better, and then even better than that, and better than that, and better than that. Really, really amazing. All right. All right. So that's pretty cool. Thank you. Then I'll get this sent over to you as a PDF in just a little moment there from there. Wow. So, okay, again, the emphasis here, as what we shared with you, is the importance of understanding that you have a self-image and that you can change it. And through changing that self-image, you change your results. And see, that's calling the rewriting of your script, the rewriting of what you believe to be true. Now, Dolly, I'm thinking about sharing this key component here from Maxwell Maltz and psychocybernetics about this truth, about the importance of what we have inside of us. And you got to keep in mind that the discovery of the self-image is not something that was, you know, that was actually put out a long time ago. I mean, it was in certain books and stuff like that, but it wasn't described in a way to help people to see the power they have in themselves when they make the decision to change that self, meaning the self-image. And within this book, in Psycho-Cybernetics, which is an amazing book, one of the things that he points out is that when we have this picture, the thing that you've got to understand is the picture is what's called your mental blueprint. Think about a blueprint for a home, the blueprint for a movie, which is the script. Remember, we're saying you're the screenwriter of this movie. Well, that mental blueprint, whatever it is, it's embedded within you subconsciously. It's not even something that you wrote, but because we're unaware that it's there, unfortunately, what we do is we stay locked into it because it's something that's been normal for us. Now think about that. It's not recognizable. I mean, it may not be recognizable. It may not be something that we're conscious of at all, but it gets enforced regardless. Now think about where they come from. It comes from the beliefs you have, but even deeper than that, it comes from the beliefs that you claimed from other people. Now that alone should stir you up to go, oh my God, I'm living with other people's beliefs. Now, how did those beliefs get into you? They got into you from your experiences. And through those experiences, especially when you were younger, what happened is the information came in, right? Just keep coming in, coming in, coming in. It's like this. You think of ready, woohoo, crazy awesome stick man, right? So the subconscious part of your mind, it doesn't have this ability to reject anything. And then the information just comes in. This is the conscious part of our mind, but most of our minds, matter of fact, all of our minds when we're really young, this shield is not up and everything goes in. Now we get to accept and to reject here, but in terms of the subconscious mind, which is your heart, it must accept. And this is extremely important to get because that goes into your heart, whether good or bad, eventually leads you to evaluate, which then forms your belief. Now think about that. It forms your belief. And then with regards to that belief, again, most of it comes from your childhood experiences. Yes. Oh my gosh. Every single one of you, including me here, we are living from the evaluations that we made when we weren't heavily using our conscious mind. So you start using your conscious mind right at about 7, 8 years old. But before that, it's just a whole dump of information, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then again, through that evaluation, the beliefs are formed. And because those beliefs were formed and shaped at a very young age, they have lots of deep, deep roots. Okay, lots of deep roots. Now, when it comes to the belief, though, this is the most important thing to really grab onto, is that when you believe it, it's true, regardless of whether or not it's the truth. And then we proceed to act upon it just as if it were true. Why? Because we believe it. You right now, you know what's really interesting about all of us here right now? Every single one of us is playing a character right now, believing whatever we believe and having thought patterns that we have, which is delivering our outcomes. In other words, if you want to see who you're acting like, just look at your results. If you want to see the character that you're playing, just look at your outcomes. Why? Because that's what you believe. We're all masterful actors. We don't even know we're acting, though. Think about that one. You are who you are because you formed the habit of being you. I love that line. That's so good. That came from Dr. Albert Ian Gray. You are the type of person you are because you have formed the habit of being that type of person. And he also points out, people form, habits form futures. But going back to this, the whole point about all of it is that it was planted there. All of you write this in your notes. Seed, plant, blossom, fruit. Seed, plant, blossom, fruit. Okay, the seeds that are planted, and by the way, there is a theme that is definitely spread throughout the universe, and it's a law, everything produces after its kind. When you plant a seed like an avocado, you will get avocados. If you plant mangoes, you're going to get mangoes. You're not going to get any of the other fruit. Now think about that. You say like you want to change, you want to be the star, but the seeds that are planted are that of the extra that's hiding in the shadows. Okay, you're not going to be able to go on the stage if you continue with those same thought patterns. Why? Because like attracts like, and more specifically, like attracts like in the mind. Write that in your notes. Like attracts like in the mind, and it's also the same principally for everything else. Dolly, where was it that we were we were studying about how oh, um what is it? It was about how um if it's true in one area, it's true in all areas. It's, it has to do with physics, right? So in other words, if it's a principle here, it's a principle everywhere. So if like attracts like in the mind, it also attracts like everywhere else. Okay. And this is important because you're seeking to be the star. Well, that means must have a star mentality. You must claim that new identity, which leads to the second profound truth that Maxwell Maltz shared. Remember, he's saying that there's a self-image inside of you, which is something that's determined by what you consent to as true, what you believe to be true of yourself, and that it was planted there, that you adopted it. Remember, adoption is the act whereby you claim ownership of it. It was planted there. And then the second discovery that he realized is that it can be changed. And that's what we're doing here. As we go through these meditations, okay, fine, we'll see how things are. We're going to get you a taste of making the shift about how they are and then the possibilities. And this next moment, the next one that we're going to be leading into is about embodying the star, which you're, diving into it and, things are starting to change in the present moment. And then after that, we're going to dive into acting as if, which is anchoring it, which is really, really awesome. Now, think about that for you, though, okay? That's what you have access to for you. You can change your life if you change your attitude towards yourself. See, that's from Neville Goddard. Everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. Your life won't change unless you change what's in you subconsciously. So this is what we're here for, to help you to do that so that you can make that shift in your life on the outside. Amazing, isn't it? Oh my God. Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you. Self-image.
Well, it's really good.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm feeling into that. Received it very differently.
Yeah. So Teresa she put in a question. So Teresa, let's pull you up here.
Yeah, I put in something about you become one of the people you hang around with. Like, so if you
Yeah,
hang with
you are the
people,
average of the people you surround yourself with.
yeah. And that's a big change for me because I've just recognized that myself. Because some of the people I hang about with really talk in a negative way, but I'd always try to change the conversation to bring in the fun element of it. But sometimes it can be very hard. That's sitting in that conversation, and then sometimes you can find yourself drawn in those conversations, and then you sort of like need to pull yourself back again as well. I do. I need to pull myself back out of it again. So I think I need to change my friend circle.
Yeah. So I have something beautiful for you, Teresa, if you're open to hear it.
Yeah.
Hey, if those negative people keep coming back to you to talk about their problems and stuff like that, or whatever it is, and it's because there's something within you that's in harmony with that. Now, many people will say, I need to set my boundaries. You don't have to set
Yeah.
your boundaries. You don't have to set them. All you have to do is shift your self-image, and then from there, the boundary will set itself. So don't concern yourself with that. It's kind of like there was who was it in one of our recent calls, Dolly? Some said, I want to go to bed earlier, and I says, okay. then wake up earlier. Don't concern yourself with, going to bed earlier. Just wake up a lot earlier, and then what will happen is your clock will shift and the boundary will set itself. In other words, you'll start to go to sleep earlier. You change, what's inside of you. So yeah, that's something you can change really fast, by the way, if you'll just lock into it. Okay, and smile.
Yeah.
And you know what you'll find too, as well, is that those people will begin to be repelled by you because you remember those people who talk like that or speak about that, they're always looking for an outlet. And
Yeah.
if you're not receptive to it, they're gonna feel it, and it's just like, oh, I gotta go somewhere else, and then they'll go to wherever it is. Remember, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true.
They just
Thank you.
smile. Oh, that's nice. You know what I say to people when the problems come up? You know what? I really don't care about your problems. What? How dare you? No, really, I don't. Do you care about your problems? Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
This is why it's perfect that you're here. By the way, when Troy first told me that boundaries were created by itself, it took me a little while to really understand that. So as you build a new self-image, it's just effortless. They just don't come around. And when they do, they are repelled and you're just in another vibration. So you don't care anyway. You've
Yeah.
outgrown it, right? You heard it that way too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is you reprogramming that. So that is that. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. That's great news.
Yeah. This is fun. Yeah, negative people cannot stand to be around me. Oh my gosh, they are so repelled by it. It's like, oh my gosh, you're just thinking you're so good. You're just fake. And I go, okay, yeah, whatever. Thank you. Have a nice life. All right. So cool. All right. So I think it's time we tap into the second meditation, my friends. What do you think, Dolly?
Yes. And then what are we doing the writing after that?
Yeah, we're gonna do the writing after that, okay? Because now here you're at a different level right now compared to when we first did it. You got much more insight, much more awareness. So this one's going to feel a lot different, and it is different in terms of the message. With this, though, the thing I'll share with you is that, remember, be intentional with it and allow yourself to step into it and then just follow the prompts as they come on to this. And then after that, we'll do some more journaling and writing things out because I'm certain that many of you are going to be going, oh my gosh, I'm feeling even much more different from here. Sound good? All right. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in play. Everybody go ahead and sit down. Now the music's the same thing, but it's not the same. Okay, the message is not the same. So let's go ahead and dive into this and enjoy the ride. Okay, here we go.
Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let the energy of your earlier journey settle into your being. You've connected with your higher self and rewritten your script. Now it's time to step into the role of the star and bring that vision to life. Feel yourself standing once again in the grand theater. This time, you are no longer in the audience. You are on the stage, standing beneath a single radiant spotlight. The script you wrote earlier is in your hand, glowing faintly, ready to guide your next steps.
As you stand on the stage, look out into the audience. The seats are empty, waiting for your story to unfold. The moment is yours. With each breath, feel the weight of the old roles you've played melting away. The spotlight above grows brighter, illuminating the path before you. Step forward knowing that this is your moment to live as the star.
Now, imagine a scene from your life where you fully embody your new self-image. See yourself walking into a familiar space, perhaps your home, workplace, or a social setting. Notice how you hold yourself. Feel the confidence in your posture, the clarity in your thoughts, and the warmth of your presence. Others around you respond to this energy. They see you as a leader, someone who inspires respect and trust.
Take a moment to observe how this version of you interacts with others. Notice how your words flow effortlessly, filled with confidence and purpose. Imagine someone asking for your advice or support, and see yourself responding with assurance and wisdom. Feel the joy and ease of being this version of yourself. You are no longer reacting to life. You're leading it.
In this moment, you realize how natural it feels to live as the star of your life. A quiet voice within speaks these truths to you. I am the leader of my life, guiding every moment with clarity. I act with purpose, and my confidence inspires others.
Now imagine a situation where the old version of you might have hesitated or doubted. Perhaps it's a moment of decision, a challenge, or an unfamiliar opportunity. As the star of your life, you face this moment with strength. Feel the calm resolve within you, knowing that you are guided by your new self-image. See yourself stepping into this challenge with confidence, turning it into an opportunity. As the star of your life, you face this moment with strength. Feel the calm resolve within you, knowing that you are guided by your new self-image. See yourself stepping into this challenge with confidence, turning it into an opportunity. Notice how others respond to your presence. They see your strength, admire your determination, and follow your lead. You are in control, shaping your story with every action you take.
Feel the power of overcoming obstacles. Notice how each step forward makes you stronger and more aligned with your true self. Challenges no longer hold you back. They propel you forward.
A voice within you rises, steadying and unwavering, affirming your strength and resilience. I turn challenges into opportunities with ease and confidence. I am capable of achieving greatness no matter the circumstances.
Now, imagine yourself living a full day as the star of your life. From the moment you wake up, see yourself stepping into your power. How do you greet the day? What habits, routines, or actions reflect your new self-image? Imagine moving through your day with clarity, confidence, and joy. Each action you take reinforces your role as the star.
Visualize one specific achievement or goal you've been working toward. See yourself taking decisive steps to make it happen. Notice how it feels to accomplish this goal and celebrate it as the star of your life. Feel the gratitude for this life you are creating, one where you lead with purpose and live boldly in alignment with your highest self.
As the day unfolds in your mind's eye, hear these truths resonating deeply within you. I create my reality through my thoughts, actions, and beliefs. I embody the qualities of success, joy, and fulfillment in every moment.
Take a deep breath and feel this new self-image anchoring deeply within you. Every cell of your body vibrates with the energy of the star. You are aligned, empowered, and ready to live your truth. Feel yourself stepping off the stage, carrying the spotlight with you. It doesn't fade. It follows you, illuminating your path wherever you go.
Begin to return to the present moment. Feel the chair beneath you and the air around you. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently, reconnecting with your surroundings. When you are ready, open your eyes. Know that you have stepped into your role as the star of your life, and from this moment forward, your story is yours to lead.
So good, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow, a little bit different in the approach there, right? Little bit different, but it was so, so good. Yes, you're going to have, all of you have, you're going to have access to these separate meditations, and it's also going to be here in this recording as well. And be looking for that in the back office. That's already there. I just need to activate it so you can have that. So let's talk about this a little bit here. Let me pull up Dolly here.
That was so much fun. I knew that I was going to be able to be, to take it to another level because of my experience now compared to where it was before. As I said to each of you about how I traveled to meet with so many leaders. Well, so many. A lot of the ones I wrote out, which was really wild that I got to meet them. And Troy and I met so many of them together too, which is really cool as well. And yeah, like I'm really still feeling into all of it. Like even when you were teaching earlier, I was receiving it so differently because of all the experiences that I'm going through as well.
Mhm.
And being able to share it with all of you, as you guys travel this with us because of this different understanding that I feel that I have now. And it's this feeling that I want to share with everyone. I want everyone to know the good news about how when we do, that this what Bob Proctor dedicated his life to. That's why I felt so strongly about, I feel we both have, of bringing him in on board, because his mission was to find the leaders of the world today, the age of the empires. Once again, it was my imagination. So my self-image, I would see it like the movie. I would see it like the Lord of the Rings. I would see, and that's what I would write out. And so when we were doing the meditation, it was the new people I wanted to meet, the new experiences I wanted to have. And I knew that I would have them. I just didn't know the how. And then tuning into each of you, like feeling the synergy of this vortex that we've created. Because once again, as we, Troy and I, have set goals that we have manifested, and we've been able to see each other manifest. Some of us in here have seen each other manifest it also too. Things that we never thought we could. Once again, miracles, stories that you only see and read and watch movies about. And now we're able to tell stories of and say that we were able to do that. I mean, once again, you can't buy that. You can only earn it. And so, it was really cool to be able to navigate that through the meditation. And yeah, still processing, because this is us, right? Showing up. Because like all of you, there's always something that we're all growing through. And every level, I think of the kings, um, when we say new level, new devil. And so when you synergize with other powerful beings such as you all here, because once again, the boundary set itself. So there's a reason why we attracted you. So that's a lot of gratitude. Thank you for doing the work. So when we do take the pen to paper again, and again and again and again, by the way, because you're going to continue to rewrite more of who you want to express yourself to be, because that's what you're here. I mean, what better thing to be grateful for than to be alive, the livingness of being in this vessel. And oh my gosh, the news I got to receive about even, the when we think of the beauty that we see in others, how oh gosh, I want to say, like, when I first started out about Julie, I brought you in about the love, how much we also too reject that for ourselves, not realizing how worthy we are. So when you take the pen to paper, once again, fantasize, and then let go, just like water, and allow the universe to show you how it's going to be. And yeah, so that's it. I'm still I'm feeling into it and feeling really great. And for those of you that can tune into me, because yeah, it's really amazing, isn't it?
So I would love to see in the comments hearts if this has been rocking you beautifully. Okay, we always love to see that as a gauge to see how on track we are. I know for us it's been absolutely amazing and beautiful, and I really hope that you've been getting a lot out of this so far because it's amazing. Oh, look at this. Good, here they come. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Yeah, things are growing through instead of going through. That's right. That's so good. Thank you so much. I'm going to pull someone up here, Dolly. And here we go. One, two, three. Okay, there you are, Shannon. Hi, it's so good to see you.
Hey guys,
Hi.
am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted and we hear you beautifully. Oh, now you muted back up. Almost. Okay, there you go.
There we go.
All right. So how has this been for you so far? What have you been getting, or what are the downloads that have been coming to you?
Well, like I said the other night in the Zoom we had, that I was, I could see big things were coming, and you said, "What if they're already here?" And Dolly knows one of my things is one day I see myself speaking on stage. I am already doing that. It's just on a platform.
Mhm.
It's just here. It's just on TikTok. It's just different places that I wasn't even it wasn't even clicking that I'm already doing those things. I'm already doing something different in my life that I never imagined that I could possibly do. And it's already happening. I just got to live in that moment every day.
That's so beautiful. How long have you been working on yourself?
Alone for several years, but that was like going nowhere sometimes, because you seem to fall back too easily that way.
Yeah.
But just since maybe July
Mm.
of this year.
It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I feel you launching exceptionally well. And the things that you've been saying have been so beautiful and they've locked into what we've been, sharing. I mean, you're literally like this when we hear your message and who you speak and stuff like that. So I think that that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, only 2 years or a few years and you're here within this where we talk about things really deep. That says a lot about you.
It resonated because I knew I couldn't keep doing this alone. I knew it's going to keep taking more and more time, and like just to be able to move faster, I knew I needed this type of guidance, and especially the daily study. I love that too.
Mhm. That's awesome. So awesome. So you brought up something that's really important. I think that this would be a really good time to see how we're all acting as a character already, and we're all claiming the limitations that we have, not knowing that we are claiming them, that we're living by them. Would you like to be part of this demonstration, Shannon?
Sure.
Okay, good. Do you have any back problems or anything like that? Or are you? Okay, good. Okay, so everybody pay close attention to this. I'm gonna pull it up so it's just Shannon and I on the screen so it's easier to see. Okay, and remember this, we're talking about who we're acting like based from what we believe to be true. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to stand and go ahead and go ahead and move the chair back just a little bit and right about a little bit further back is good. Okay, right there. Oh, look, you got your mop shirt on. Mop head. That's rocks.
Mop Patrol Live.
All right, so all of you pay close attention to this. And then I'm going to remove myself from the screen so that you're there, but you're going to listen to my instructions, okay? And remember, this has to do with belief, okay? It has to do with, what we go through in life. Okay, so what I want you to do, okay, Shannon, I want you to place your your right hand out directly in front of you and point it. Okay, good. Okay. Now I want you to make sure you can point with the finger. That's fine. Yeah, you're pointing us. That's okay though. And make sure your feet are firmly planted. Okay. Okay, they're firmly planted. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to turn and point. I want you to turn clockwise and go as far as you can go and then just hold where that is. And so everybody can see it. Okay. Okay, stop right there. Okay. Okay, now that's at about 12 o'clock, right? Compared to what it was before.
Yep.
Okay, now come back. Right in front. Okay, good. Now put your arm down. Okay, good. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, but you're not going to move your body at all whatsoever. And the only thing that you're going to do is imagine what I'm sharing with you. Okay? So go ahead and close your eyes. And then I want you to imagine lifting your arm, and then you lift your arm and you point it just the way that you did. And then I want you to imagine that both Dolly and I are in that room with you. And as your arm is lifted, Dolly and I are trying to put all of our weight on your arm, and we're unable to budge it. Matter of fact, you laugh at us going, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so weak. What is that all you got?" And then so we're sitting there, and then we both go to your right, and then both of us, we put both of our hands on your arm and get a grasp of it. And then we instruct you to turn. And as you are turning clockwise the way you did before, we can't stop you. As a matter of fact, you're so strong that we have no other alternative but to either fall backwards or our feet get dragged. And as you move around, you're like smiling. Oh my gosh, you're so powerful. You're so strong. You're moving. And then you get way over to that 12 o'clock point or the 6 o'clock, based on what it is, where you're at the 180 degrees. And we're just trying to pull it back, but we can't do it. Why? Because you're so strong. You're so powerful. You're laughing, going, "Oh my gosh, is this all you got?" And then you go even further, you find yourself going another 45 degrees to the point of where you're turning full circle like a pretzel, 360 degrees, and we're still trying to hold you back and pull you back, but you're just laughing because you're so strong, so amazing, so powerful. And you go even a little further, and Dolly and I are sweating because we were unable to stop you from twisting that way because of that amazing amount of strength that you have. And then you still smile and say, "Is that all you got?" And you say, "Yes." And you go even further. Now I want you to imagine that we're just sitting there and we're like, "Oh, we're so tired." And then you go back the other way and untwist yourself, and you go back to that other normal position where your arm is, pointing forward. And then you put your arm down and smile. And then I want you to go ahead and smile right now. You can smile for real, okay? Now open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now, what I want you to do is lift your arm, and now point, and I want you to turn, twist as far as you can go. Go ahead. Oh my God, did you see this, everybody? Okay, go back. Okay, stop. You can go ahead and get your seat back. Okay. Okay. Now, let's talk about this because this has everything to do with your self-image. This has everything to do with what you agreed to, with what you believed. In other words, when I gave you the instruction to turn as far as you can go, you stopped at 180 degrees, right? Because that's what you believed. That was something that you believed, right? Right? It was something that was in you subconsciously. It's like, oh, and again, the instructions were go as far as you can go, but yet you stop there. And the point with regards to that is because it was what you consented to as true of yourself. Now, after that, all I did was invite a much different picture. And because your mind was open, you received it, didn't you? And on top of that, the evidence is very clear because look how much further you went. Now, here's the question, and you probably could have gone even a little further. And that was a significant difference. Now, here's another question for you. Okay, you went that 180 degrees the first time. Was the potential for you to go that additional 30 to 40 degrees there before? It
Yeah.
was, wasn't it? But the only reason why you didn't
My
is
belief.
that's right, because of the role that you were claiming as your own when it wasn't even yours. It was something that was embedded within you subconsciously. Isn't it interesting? You didn't even know you were doing it. You go, "Oh yeah, this is it. That's where I'm going to stop," right? And really, all of you grab onto this because this is what we're going through as we're going through these exercises with you to help you to see that, you know what, the only limitations you have are the ones that you've agreed to, which is what you believe. In the Four Agreements, that's what he talks about when he describes what beliefs are. Your beliefs are what you have agreed to. Now, think about this for you in terms of, your income. Think about how much is being left on the plate because of that subconscious pattern, which you don't even know is there because it's a subconscious pattern. With this being said, imagine how different the outcome would be if you diligently shifted what you were capable of through exercises like this daily. Imagine how, and this was just one little 5-minute segment. Think about that. And would you say that that was a dramatic improvement? Yeah, if you can unmute there real quick. Yeah,
Absolutely, because I did it without even thinking about it
that's right.
or giving it that much attention, you know.
Yeah. And isn't it beautiful how the dramatic improvement happened solely because you decided to open your mind to receive something new?